All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2021 7th Annual Indy Awards. And like we say per tradition at this part of the venture, if you stuck around till this part, you are an absolute trooper, and we would like to thank you in advance for actually being a part of this award show, which, according to the maestro, by the end of it all, will break the record we set in 2016 for the longest show we've ever done, clocking in at almost 2 hours. Yikes. Now, here's hoping we're actually able to upload it. But besides all of that, folks, to actually bring things home with our final award and probably one of our most important awards of the night, it's time for us to go into the final award of the night, which is known as the New Legacy Inc. Differencemaker Award. Originally known as the Music Village Differencemaker Award, but due to the fact that they've won it so many times, we had to change it. And the reason why in the world this award is so important, folks, because it proved in over an entire calendar year, despite a pandemic or whatever the world's going on in the world, you did your best to try to make a difference in it, or try to do what John Wall said, which is, you can make a difference, or like Need to Breathe would say in their classic song of Differencemaker of, I am a difference maker. I get better with each year, maestro. I get better with each year. So without further ado, Dan the Weatherman Stu, if you will, please read the nominees for this year's New Legacy Inc. Differencemaker Award. I don't even know why we're reading it. We know who's gonna win. Dan the Weatherman Stu, you are doing such a great job during this award thus far. Read the nominees. I do not care who you think is gonna win or what bet you have on it. Read the nominees for this year. All right. Here are your nominees for this year's New Legacy Inc. Differencemaker Award. New Legacy Inc. My odds-on favorite to win it regardless. You know, besides me giving the stink eye to, Dan the Weatherman still over there in the corner, New Legacy Inc. not only in this whole pandemic times bringing laughs, smiles, and whatever it may have you during these hard times, would also be able to set a brand new record well over $55,000 for the Canadian Cancer Society for this year's little charity stream they decided to do for fighting back, which actually involved not only several people who are a part of this award for the nominees, which includes Austin Creed, CM Pulse, Chris Danker, and even Mr. Brody Lee, who got involved with this, which Austin Creed called the Kodiak Bear, but nevertheless, a lot of laughs for a good cause. The reason why they're nominated for this year. Chris Danker! More or less a part of Dank Ops. Yeah, Dan the Weatherman Stu, a guy who was a part of Dank Ops for 1,000 years, what it feels like, not to mention had a day streak going for the longest amount of time, and on top of all of that, was even able to provide Christmas to those who couldn't have a Christmas this year due to these tough times. A chip in his pocket for this award because of that. CM Pulse, or better known as Pulse. Yep, Dan the Weatherman Stu, Pulse, a guy who was actually able to raise well over $11,000 for COVID-19 relief funds, apart with Chris Danker and even with Austin Creed himself, just doing it to try to help out others and not to mention have a whole bunch of laughs while tossing each other off the top of Hell in a Cell, and even doing a whole bunch of other crazy matches that would involve, once again, Austin Creed. And as a matter of fact, Dan the Weatherman Stu, please read the next nominee. Austin Creed! Keep it tight! involved with this award because just like all the other people we just read, folks, he was definitely a part of New Legacy Inc. and all of the cool streams just to do something for an absolutely great cause. And not to mention, with the party and all the entertainment he brought with Up, Up, Down, Down, he was definitely able to make a difference this year and put a lot of smiles on people's faces, no matter who they are. Brody Lee and Shad Gaspar! True difference makers if you ask me! Yeah, Dan the Weatherman Stu, one half of Crime Time in one corner, and Brody Lee, probably one of the nicest people in the world of professional wrestling, who both of them lost their lives, one by trying to save their son, and Brody Lee, well, because of circumstances we would not like to reveal on the air, but at the same time with Brody Lee's death, was able to bring together the wrestling world in a way I thought I would never see in 1,000 years, with not only beautiful tributes to this man and not a mean word said about him throughout any of them. Yep, they'll both truly be missed on this world. And this award for tonight goes out to them and, of course, several people that were lost along the way during this horrible pandemic that's been going on. And with that said, folks, Dan the Weatherman Stu, if you will, and stop bundling around with that said envelope, please read the winner of this year's New Legacy Inc. Differencemaker Award. And the winner for this year's New Legacy Inc. Differencemaker Award is, drum roll please. Not a shocker here, it's none other than New Legacy Inc. And all the people who was associated with them. Congratulations. Well, folks, once again, New Legacy Inc. winning the award named after themselves, which means I got a feeling by next year we're going to have to remove them out of the ballot box, but at the same time put them back in for whatever sort of incredible thing they decide to do for next year. And yeah, Maestro, I owe you $5 for that because I thought it was going to be somebody else. Yikes. And I guess with that said, folks, and all the awards handed out, I think it's just about that time for us to get out of here and bring the 2021 7th Annual Indy Awards for this year to an emphatic close. But if you missed anything for this year's awards, don't worry, we got you covered, because you can catch it again one more time, all the time, on our SoundCloud, Facebook, or even Tumblr pages, named the same, only known as Music Village Radio under the hashtag 2021 Indy Awards. Or better known as the award that lasted so long we had to, most likely upload it in 2 parts. No, seriously, I got a feeling that's what they're gonna tell us when we try to upload it, no matter where we try to upload it. And if you guys want to figure out other crazy and zany things that we still got prepared for this year's 28 Days of Greatness, like an award show that will be split in half almost like this month, you can go ahead and check it out on our YouTube/Twitter pages, still named the same, only known as COOH and Double 12. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will upload this to YouTube as well, no matter how long it takes, which according to the Maestro might take us until next year to upload it. You might have a point. And before we head out for the night, we would like to thank, as always, you the fans out there for listening in to another very lengthy, big-time, suit-wearing edition of the Indy Awards. And if you guys and gals out there like what you heard, go out there and spread the word. You know what? Like Frog Leap Studios, like one of the songs they covered for Valentine's Day. Yeah, the PR department knows where I'm going with this one, and they also said that was the real winner of the Most Interesting Person of 2020 award, but they didn't want to say it out loud before they can start the car and get out of here. Well, you better do that while you still can, because he might find you. And we would also like to thank you, the independent artists out there, for doing that musical goodness like you always do. And keep up the great work, guys, and we can't wait to hear what sort of cool music that you bring to the table for next year's Indie Awards. Because, yeah, we're going to keep up with our promise for next year, since the High Octane Award won't be a part of the awards next year, and present your music a part of the Indie Awards. Trust us on this one, and we're gonna write it down so we make sure we don't forget either. And speaking of people's music who was actually a part of the Indie Awards this year, we would like to thank our musical guest for this year, none other than Techno Acts, with their song Simpler Times, that was featured during the intro for this year's two-part edition of the 2021 7th Annual Indie Awards. And like always, Techno Acts, keep those musical tunes a-coming, and we can't wait to hear what you got coming down the tubes next. And finally, last but not least, we would like to thank you, the independent gamers out there, for coming out with all those sweet, sweet video game hits, clips, tracks, and stunts that we had a chance to mention for this year's Indie Awards. Seriously, guys, without you, we would be missing a lot of parts for the Indie Awards for this year, and the fact that you were able to step up with your creativity for this year so we can present it for the Indie Awards and even have more nominees for it, yeah, we really do thank you guys for it, and keep up the great work, and we hope you're a part of the Indie Awards once again for next year, because we will be on the lookout for your creativity, and we will find it. And I guess with everybody thanked, you guys out there know we go out. I'm DJ Smokey on behalf of the Maestro and for the PR department, who currently ran halfway to Pennsylvania by now, along with Dan the Weatherman Stu and everybody else who was a part of the Indie Awards for this year that we would absolutely love to thank, saying, you might as well face it, you're addicted to love. But most importantly, when there's smoke, there's fire, and we'll see you guys next year for the 8th Annual 2022 Indie Awards. But until then, folks, good night from this year's 2021 7th Annual Indie Awards.